Et bonsoir cette équipe. Pour ce 3e épisode, je suis attendu au Hector House pour une soirée vraiment expérimentale. En effet, le collectif Beatabet organise une soirée très créative avec des choses vraiment étranges. Mais pour mieux comprendre le concept, je rencontre Jay dans un manoir typiquement anglais.
Hello, my name is Jay. I live in Brighton and I have done for about 5 years, and I'm primarily a musician, but I help to organise different multimedia events around the UK and sometimes other places in Europe, and I know lots of different musicians and artists in Brighton, and I help out with a group called Beatabet, which is like a network of musicians and artists, and we all help to put on events, play gigs, release records, etc., etc.
Now, we have a special guest here tonight, all the way from Beatabet head office. He's a very difficult man to pin down. He's very, very busy. He's very, very popular in the corporate world. He's come with his entourage this evening. He's come here to give you a motivational speech. Ladies and gentlemen, would you make way for the man, the legend that is Mr. David McWizard!
You feel like you're on the top of the world. You feel like you could push any button. That you could put your finger in anything. That you could point at anything. That you need to remember that those days will come. Those 4.5 good days.
I'm part of a group called Beatabet. Beatabet is a network of musicians, artists and performers. It's a place where people can exchange skills, maybe perform at each other's events. So it's not a club that you join, it's more a place where people get together and share ideas. Beatabet puts on events, our own events, in different places in the UK. We've done it in Brighton, London. We have international links. We go to France every year, where we have a creative residency in the Massif Central region, where artists get together from any discipline and they stay in a converted farmhouse and they share ideas and collaborate. Beatabet is about collaboration. We have many people involved in Beatabet. We have dancers, performers, theatrical performers, writers. We have lots of musicians. We also have 2D artists, video artists, and there's a core group of 10 to 12 members. It's run by a committee, but the network is quite wide, and it's a place where just we can put anything that we want to do under the name Beatabet. It's a place for our own creativity. It has many bands involved with Beatabet, of different genres, different setups, different sounds. And that side of it also has a fledgling record label, which we're hoping to expand upon in the next year or so, which will be around to release the recordings of the musicians within Beatabet.
You're now a lot better. I have been and always will be David McWizard. Good night.
Beatabet, as part of what it does, we have this regular monthly night at a local Brighton bar club venue called Hector's House. We've been running it for a year now. It's primarily a gig night where we put on our own bands and then we invite guest bands to come and perform. But also it's a place for us to showcase other elements of what Beatabet does, the more performance side of Beatabet. So sometimes we have surprise performances by theatrical performance, the kind of thing that you wouldn't normally see in a gig or a bar, which is quite interesting to us and quite surprising to the audience. But it's a really good place for us to showcase our own bands, and it's nice to be able to control the whole night, because I often go to gigs and even if I like the band, I feel that the gig environment can be a little bit dry or dull sometimes. There's not much creativity. So we put on these events and we have our bands playing, but we have visuals from a couple of people we know called Metaluna, who do live interactive visuals. We play records. We give away free CDs. It's just a place for us to put on our own bands, but in an interesting way. So we do that every month, and it's nice to be able to do something that's different, and it seems to be quite popular with people. So that's the sort of main objective of what we're trying to do on these events. For the future, my involvement with Beatabet is really I help to administrate Beatabet, and we've got a lot of projects coming up. We've got something for Nuit Blanche, which is the White Night Festival, which happens every year in the UK, only in Brighton in the UK, but there are other places in Europe. There's one in Paris, there's one in Toronto in Canada, and for this year it'll be in October, and there'll be hopefully, this is what we're aiming for, a big central station in the middle of the town, where we will be taking footage and sound video from lots of different venues in Brighton on the same night, feeding all that information into the Meta Hub, and the general public can interact with this information, this video, the sound. We'll have hopefully applications for iPhones where you can interact with the sound and the footage, all of that stuff. For other projects that Beatabet are doing, we have a big Beatabet showcase happening at some point in the summer in a secret location, which we're in negotiations with. It'll be in a disused place. Beatabet like to use spaces which are different or have been empty for a while, so that it showcases the spaces, the really interesting spaces in Brighton and Hove which aren't being used. So that's one of the projects we have. For myself, I'm involved in a band called Man Ray Sky, which is a 5-piece band, although sometimes we have people playing with us. We have a manager, and we've just about to release our first proper recording. We're working on the artwork now, and that will be out in about a month's time, maybe the beginning of May, and after that hopefully we'll achieve some rock star success. We'll see about that. And also I'm working with my friend on writing a comic book which I'll be drawing and he'll be writing, and that's something else that I'd really like to do in the future. So many different things happening.